What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do a word from the ancestor read for the sign of Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn, you guys are second this week on the zodiac lineup. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal, so take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay, so let's go ahead. If you guys are not familiar, there have been some changes to the channel, just small changes. This is the emergency pyramid that I'm going to do. I've created it with my ancestors in regards to the ancestor read. It's still the ancestor read, however, they informed me that it was time to change some things. I wasn't due to actually change the decks up until like the end of this year, but something transpired that made me have to change them. Okay, so we're only using one deck now, and I'm doing a pyramid style. Okay, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. It will be like this until further notice. All right. I've already pre-shuffled. I'm starting from the top of the deck. Okay. One card first, followed by three, which you can consider centering yourself. Okay. And don't mind me and my OCD as I put these cards out. Okay. I, of course, have not looked at them at all before doing your reading. Okay, the next row is the third row, which is a row of 5. You can consider the third row the change that may occur in your life. Okay, I still kind of focus on this center column here of the pyramid, which is in reference to you per se. Okay, the last row is of 7 cards, which you can consider the inner strength in you that you may need to have. Okay, as we wrap up your reading. Okay, there are no questions involved. Okay, in the ancestor read. Okay, never was before. Okay, so no need for me to start doing questions with them. Okay, so now that we have all the cards laid out, we look at the bottom of the deck at the end of the reading. Okay, which is kind of like your outcome. And I'm just going to do some slight adjusting so that way you guys can hopefully see all of the pyramid here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. First card is the 5 of Swords. Okay, Capricorn, 5 of Swords to start. Okay, I feel like it's in reference to matters of the heart with this 5 of Swords. Someone feeling somewhat defeated. Okay, the energy of your readings this week is kind of centered around, if I remember correctly, dealing with 2 choices to make possibly in a relationship. Okay, and so possibly you guys have informed someone that maybe that you're not interested in them, or maybe you're feeling defeated of someone not being interested in you. Okay, one or the other, getting where you fit in. I try to read for everybody when I do these readings. Okay, so we have the 9 of Pentacles after that, going into the second row of 3. Okay, while you're centering at this point, okay, it's important for you to focus on what you want and what you don't, not what you don't want. Okay, being this on the second row. Okay, so with the 9 of Pentacles, it's time for you to be a little bit more stable within yourself. Okay, when it comes to, for you, it could be finances, or it could just be full-on stability in the sense of knowing your worth. Okay, taking a time out for yourself. Okay, I have suggested this in many readings All right, in regards to even, relationships. The same goes for friendships that end, things of that nature. Okay, needing to learn how to be stable within yourself and not be so codependent on someone else. Okay, to make you feel valued. You should be able to make yourself feel valued before anyone else. Here we have the Ace of Pentacles, okay? Earth energy coming through, of course, you, then Virgo and Taurus, of course. And we have it right up underneath the Five of Swords, okay? And beside the Nine of Pentacles. So it could be possibly an offer that is very, beneficial to you, okay? In a sense of maybe someone offering you a form of advice, or in exchange of maybe not being able to be with you, offering you at least friendship. Okay, for others of you, if I were to put this, these two together, the Nine of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles, it would be 10, which would lead up to that stability, and that family dynamic type of vibe. And that's possibly something that you strive for right now. Okay, and you may feel defeated in that sense if you're not, making any waves towards that. Okay, wanting a house, wanting the husband or the wife, the kids and the picket fence and all of that good stuff. Okay, it's coming. You just have to start from scratch, and you have to be willing to build your way up to that. Okay, but first you have to get yourself stable. Okay, let's move on to the next card, which is Strength. Okay, Strength card, Leo energy here. Okay, so again, like I said, you have to make the actual motivation and determination to kind of be strong within yourself first. Okay, before you can move on to something, long term. Okay, anything long term starts very basic. It starts with friendship first, and then it evolves over time. Okay, and so you have to have the strength to be secure within yourself before you can make that offer to someone else. Okay, be secure within yourself. Show yourself as, worthy of that type of commitment. Okay, so it is going to take a lot of strength, okay, to get there. All right, so let's move on to the third row, and we have the Five of Cups. Okay, third row, 5, change within your life. It is going to be a very tough time. You are going to, have some disappointments. Okay, those disappointments are possibly revolving around, with the Cups energy, being related to emotional, water sign, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Okay, you're gonna have to, of course, there's dating and getting to know people, and that is somewhat very, it can be depressing sometimes. It can be disappointing as well, because you're wondering if there's anyone out there for you, okay, that fits the bill. Okay, stop focusing so much on that person meeting your standards. Do you meet your own standards that you want that person to meet up to? Okay, and then it will make it a little bit easier on you. Okay, while you have the 3 cups in the front that are, facing down, you still have the 2 of Cups behind you. Okay, so it's like, don't focus so much on the ones that you truly want out of possible ill intentions, if you will. Okay, it's not pure. Whatever it is that you've lost, okay, you need to focus on those in which are pure of heart. Okay, and actually meet up to your standards, because you meet up to your standards as well. Okay, so let's move on. We have the 8 of Pentacles. The 8 of Pentacles here, falling up underneath the 9 of Pentacles and next to the 5 of Cups. Okay, so 8 of Pentacles is usually talking about, grinding, working it out, focusing on things. Okay, the 9 of Pentacles has reduced down to the 8 of Pentacles. I like doing this pyramid, and I primarily only was doing this pyramid, or planning to do this pyramid, for personal readings, in which I am open for. However, since I've, now am doing them and will be doing them more frequently, here on the channel, I like the fact, and I utilize the row above to kind of help with clarifiers. So I'm not pulling any other additional cards. This is your spread, okay? Just in case you're wondering, okay? So I'm using this Eight of Pentacles, like I said, to clarify this Nine of Pentacles. Once you're secure within yourself, it's time for you to get to work, okay? So for some of you, it could be in reference to a project, okay, that you're working on, or possibly professional endeavors, okay? And so it's time for you to get to work. If you want that Nine of Pentacles, you have to put the work in, okay? In regards to if it's in reference to your finances, or if you're worried about finances, all right? For others of you, it's, you know, relationship based, okay? And so spend time working on yourself more so than trying to, you know, constantly, you know, sorry to say it, be in someone's face just to be in their face, okay? Because there's other things that you need to focus on, possibly healing from past traumas and things of that nature, so that way you're not bringing toxicity into another relationship, okay? So, and that's just for some in particular, okay? So, next is the Eight of Swords, okay? Next is the Eight of Swords underneath this Ace of Pentacles, okay? So, Eight of Swords is usually talking about some form of stuck energy, okay? Five of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, and then Eight of Swords. You're talking about kind of, again, feeling defeated about something and maybe stuck in between something, okay? Some form of an offer possibly, okay? That maybe someone else got offered something over you, or vice versa, and now you're kind of stuck on what to do. And it could, for some of you, it could be in reference to maybe a friendship possibly. Maybe you work with friends, and maybe you were chosen over your friend, and you know, they're like, you know, you want this, if you really want it, you know, you're the person, you're the right person for it. And so you may feel a little bit conflicted, and feel stuck in wondering if it will, you know, kind of hinder your relationship, your friendship, okay? If it was a sound decision, Capricorns, by all means, you know, take the offer in that sense of, if you're trying to get to this Nine of Pentacles, okay? And offer assistance to your friend, okay? In regards to helping them be able to uplift themselves to a Nine of Pentacles as well, okay? It could be something as simple as, if it was an interview process, you know, and it was a fair overview, okay? Now, if you feel, there's some of you Capricorns that possibly feel as though your friend possibly deserved the job over you, okay? Then step up and be that person, okay? You possibly have something else coming towards you, okay? To where that might actually bode well for you, because they may, you know, offer you something else and your friend gets that job too, okay? So, you know, be honest with yourself. If you know for a fact that maybe you are not the best fit for this job, but they feel that you are, you know, shout out your friend, okay? And, you know, it's one thing to be an opportunist, but it's also one thing to be honest, okay? So by all means, you know, do what you do, but don't feel too stuck in the energy, especially if you know what the right thing is to do, all right? So that being said, let's move forward. And we have Temperance, okay? Temperance is here underneath Strength, okay? So with this combination here, I feel as though two major arcanas, by the way, all right? You will have to have patience. Just as much as you have strength to be motivated, to be driven, to, you know, be consistent with whatever it is you're pursuing, you also have to have patience, okay, in the process, because you have to trust in the process. And that is a notion of faith, strength, and patience. I can't stress it enough, okay? And of course, I'm your, your co-sign of Taurus, okay? And you can possibly learn some patience from Taurus, okay? Although we do have a breaking point, because I know I do, okay? And it's one thing that I always say, don't test my patience or my loyalty. And that's only because of the fact that I do have a breaking point when it comes to patience. Um, I'm a person that doesn't like waiting on anyone. I like moving when I need to move. I get where I need to be, and I like to do things promptly. I don't like making people wait, and I don't like people making me wait. Because I'm very independent in that sense. Not because I'm conceited or anything or feel entitled. It's just that when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. And so, um, patience is something that, again, don't test my patience, because I do have enough patience to, you know, deal with the situation as much as I possibly can. But when you start, kind of rubbing against my morals and my values, then that's when I have a problem. Okay. So, that's just a little bit about me. But again, with these two, they are interchangeable between the two. Okay. Whatever process you're dealing with, you are going to have some form of patience. All right. Especially more so with yourself and in a situation of a relationship type vibe. Like I said, if you're looking for a relationship, you are going to have patience, because that's not something that just happens overnight. Okay. So let's move on to judgment. Okay, judgment. All right, some form of decision has to be made, or someone's calling judgment on someone. Okay, there's no card standing over top of this. Okay, and so again, some form of judgment, either you calling judgment on someone, or on yourself. Okay, like I said, towards that situation, if you feel like someone else should be offered something over you, then by all means pass the baton. Okay, it does not make you any less of a person for doing that. It makes you honest. Okay. And so, again, like I said, honesty is something totally different than an opportunist. An opportunist takes from someone else who's more deserving, just so that way you can have it. And you never know how that ripple effect may cause another person. Okay. It may cause despair in someone else's life because you chose to just, survival of the fittest type. Okay. Survival of the fittest goes across the board, in my opinion. Okay. Especially when you're an adult and you're, making your way through this lifetime. Okay. You have to get a job. You should have a roof over your head, or at least attempt to. Okay. Even if it's a shared space, you still have to do things to keep yourself afloat. Okay. And so does someone else. All right. And so when it's very difficult when you're working with friends. Okay. When you're working with friends, you have to worry about someone either taking advantage of the situation, especially if it's a leadership role and you're underneath them, or vice versa, or you're having to work together, and there may be times where you butt heads. So I definitely go by the saying of don't mix business with pleasure. Okay. And pleasure goes in hand with friendship as well. I try to keep those two things as separate as possible. Okay. If you make friends on the job, great. That's a bonus, but you don't get paid to make friends. Okay. You get paid to do your job. All right. So I'm not trying to come off, hard or anything, but I'm just saying. Okay. So, making those friends on the job is great. But eventually it does, cause an issue in the sense of, people thinking they might have, you know, better skill sets than other people. They got slighted, things of that nature. Okay. Been there, done that. All right. In the sense of being slighted. I never have been an opportunist in a job. I only apply for jobs that I know I qualify for. I've never been one to lie about my skill set or anything like that on an application. That's just me. You take what I have, and that's all I have is me. So, again, that may relate to you in some shape, form, or fashion. If it helps you, by all means, you can let me know in the comments. Now, let's go ahead and move on. I don't want to be rambling on that subject for too long, but you understand where we are with the judgment card. So now let's move on to these, a lot of major arcanas right now flowing right behind each other. We have the Ace of Cups, okay? Ace of Cups here, okay? So some form of course, cups being emotional, okay, standpoint, some form of an offer of true feelings and emotions of some sort, an offer of love, okay. It could be love in the sense of, you know, someone sacrificing something, and you never know. You may have this conversation with your friend, and they'll tell you, no, you truly do deserve it. You know what? I found something else, and I'd rather do that. You go ahead and you take this. You take the offer, okay? And so that's a beautiful conversation if that is to happen, okay, where they, that sometimes happens in the job world. You know, put out job applications, and maybe there's two or three that you truly really want, and you end up maybe getting a phone call for something that you really don't want, and maybe this for your friend possibly could have been something that they really, you know, they just was throwing their name in the hat. They weren't thinking they were going to get it, wasn't expecting to get it, but something else came, you know, down the pike for them. Or this could be you, okay? Get in where you fit in, all right? But nonetheless, you know, you have the conversation with this friend, and they're willing to let you go ahead and have it. And it also kind of tightens the bond, if you will, of your friendship, because you considered them first instead of being an opportunist, okay? Or vice versa, okay? And if it's vice versa, you now know who your true friends are, okay? And you could be at a point in your life, Capricorn, where that is what you need to know right now, okay? Who your true friends are, who are really there for you, who are really there to motivate you, who's there to really, you know, be what they say they are. You know, we are always quick to say, you know, you're my ride or die, you're my everything. And it's like, how? Like, how do you know? Why? You know, why am I that? Am I really that? You know, in my time of need or in your time of need, have you always been there for each other? Okay. And so kind of reevaluating who you have your circle around you. Okay. So could also deal with this Five of Cups type energy. So then we have the King of Wands. Okay. King of Wands. Not one that has came up a lot this week. Mostly Knight of Wands has came up throughout the readings this week. We have a Five of Cups over top of that, but this Ace of Cups here next to it. Okay. Like I said before, kind of going back to that particular situation at hand in regards to relationships. Like I said, you're going to have to, as the saying goes, kiss a few frogs before you find the prince. But in this instance, you find a king, okay? So, you know, waiting and actually working hard towards yourself. And like I said, being that standard that you want, okay? If you're going to ask something of someone else, can you provide the same thing to them? Okay, and so with this King of Wands is someone that is also very determined and very consistent when it comes to not only their professional life but also their personal life. Okay, and so after all of this, you know, disappointment, all right, in relationships, like I told you before, you have the two cups there after the three fall. All right, so maybe you date three and then you are, you know, down to two per your readings this week, okay? And you have to make a choice between two. And one of them is possibly, as you see, this King of Wands is pointing towards this Ace of Cups. And so this obviously may be someone who can match your energy and offers you this love, this cup, okay, this Ace of Cups. So let's move forward to the lovers underneath the Eight of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, I love it when the cards come together. Okay, so with this being here in this Nine of Pentacles, Eight of Pentacles, then the lovers. Okay, like I said, working towards what you want and actually bringing yourself to, like I said, that standard. Okay, I truly believe in that. Okay, if you're asking someone to be honest, loyal, and true to you, then you should be doing the same thing too. Okay, and that is how you end up meeting the person that's right for you. Okay, so let's move on to the Seven of Cups. Okay, Seven of Cups is here in the row, right in the middle of your reading, right in the middle of your spread. Five of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, and the Seven of Cups. Okay, like I said, multiple options. Okay, maybe you've had multiple options in love, and if we look to the left, okay, on the table, for me it's to the left. To you guys it might be to the right. Okay, but to the left of me, I'm seeing all this, this adjusted energy, if you will. Okay, and it's coming from a sense of working out what you need. Okay, and what you don't need. All right, focusing on what you want, not what you don't want. All right, but if we're looking at just the center of your pyramid here, Capricorns, again, like I said, it may be you that have multiple, venues of offers with this Ace of Pentacles. So, it all depends on you, what it is that you truly want to do. Okay, you're feeling stuck. That Eight of Swords is right above this Seven of Cups. Pick something, that is going to definitely balance you out, okay, and also give you that additional skill set that maybe you've never had before if you're trying to decide what kind of job to go for, okay, or what to accept, okay, because you could have multiple options coming in, and so maybe you don't need this particular Ace of Pentacles and let it pass over to your friend. That your friend is possibly second in line to get chosen. Okay, so if you decline the offer, all right, or vice versa. So let's move forward. We have the Four of Wands. I've been saying it throughout your whole reading as far as a relationship. Okay, this is underneath the Strength and Temperance. Okay, so like I said before, it's going to take time for you to get to this goal. Okay, career is coming in, for you and falling in place. Relationship is in second place. Okay, in my opinion, the way this spread is turning out. Mind you, I will say that Ace of Cups came up, I believe, at the end of Taurus's reading in their outcome at the bottom of the deck. The Four of Wands came out where the Strength card is, I believe. Okay, and so you're kind of following right behind Taurus with the same energy when it comes to relationships. So by all means, if you have Taurus in your chart, you may, if you want at your leisure, you can watch it, but you don't have to. Okay, so let's move forward. Wow. I said 10 of Pentacles earlier, but look at this wish fulfillment with this 10 of Cups, okay? You finally kind of get what you want, okay? This is falling underneath that Judgment card, okay, that came out before. You're having to make a judgment call on who you want, okay? Like I said, this week you guys have had two people come up, I believe, in it was your general read. Okay, so if you haven't had a chance, Capricorns, go back and watch that. But whoever the person you choose, which you know is the right choice, okay, which you know is the right choice, is the person that you can possibly have that 10 of Cups with, but only if you're willing to work on yourself first, okay? So lastly is the Two of Wands, okay? Lastly is the Two of Wands. Why are we here, Capricorn? Why? Why? Y'all always hit me with something as far as energetically, okay? Two of Wands is sitting here looking kind of out towards this 10 of Cups, and I'm also going to say in reference to this Judgment, okay? You're stuck in your heads about it. All right, and it's because maybe it's hard to believe, okay? Maybe it's hard to believe that you could possibly have this with this person based on what has happened in the past, okay? And so you're wondering, for some of you, you may be wondering if you really can have this type of relationship with someone, if you can really have a Four of Wands, because maybe in the past all your relationships have failed. But instead of looking at the failure, look at why they failed. Okay, was it something that you did? Take accountability. If it's something as far as even taking accountability in the sense of choosing that particular person, okay, maybe you should have made better choices. And I'm not shaming you, it's life. You make the choices that you want to make because you have free will, okay? You make the choice at the end of the day, but you have to take accountability for the choice that you made, okay? That choice that you make leads to a ripple effect of either love in this 10 of Cups or to this 5 of Cups, okay? So you have Cups energy here just adjacent from each other. They connect in some shape, form, or fashion because you've had this possibility, but maybe it got ruined, okay, by someone either interrupting it or you interrupting it, okay? Maybe expecting or setting your expectations a little bit too high where someone could not achieve that because they weren't on the same level as you, okay? So you have to take that into account, all right? So again, I feel like this corner here is for the Capricorns who are like, I want that, but I don't know. It's your past and things like that. You have to get past that and believe that you can have this as long as you're willing to work towards it, with this 8 of Cups being here, okay? So with that being said, let's look at the bottom of the deck so we can wrap up your reading. You guys are in justice, okay? There is justice here, okay? Libra energy with the scale. I don't think we need to go any further with that because of the fact that eventually when you make the choice and you make the decision to bring some fairness into your life with, Libra energy and look at everything clearly, you will finally come to the decision of whether or not you're ready for this type of commitment, if you want this kind of commitment, okay? And you will make some fair decisions, okay, that will lead to positivity as long as you want it, all right? So with that being said, Capricorns, that's really all I have for you guys right now. We have one more reading to end the week. So until then, peace.